Well, good Friday morning to you. I'll give everybody a chance to kind of get logged in here. A little unexpected live this morning. Sitting out here on the porch and playing. Got a different guitar today. This is my Gibson. I had been playing my Martin. And I found this Gibson back, I don't know, months ago here in Kingsport. A man and a lady had it. And it's over 50 years old. It's a 71 model. J45 Gibson, and pretty pricey. And I got a good deal on it. It's worth more than I gave for it, and it's a classic. I mean, not a scratch hardly on it, and it's sounding good. John Arnold over in Newport, Tennessee. John Arnold is one of the top luthiers. Luthier is a name for a guy that builds guitars or works on guitars. And he's one of the top luthiers, I guess, in country and bluegrass music and gospel. He used to set up for Doc Watson over there in Carolinas, the Doc Watson Festival. And everybody remembers Doc Watson, blind Doc Watson, one of the greatest bluegrass, one of those mountain-type bluegrass, one of the greatest bluegrass pickers, singers, I guess, of the past era. And anybody that's involved in bluegrass music will know the name Doc Watson. And most everybody that has been involved in, in some type of bluegrass or gospel bluegrass type music would probably recognize the name John Arnold if they've been around, really professional type people. And John's great guitar man. He set this up, and it's got a good sound to it. Oh my, I'm telling you, it's got a great sound. Great sound. I love that. I'm telling you, it's great. I love picking. I don't pick like I used to. My fingers is stiff, and I just don't play as much. I play at church on Sundays, just backing up the choir and the congregations, but I sure like to pick. But I was out here yesterday, and I was singing a song and talking. A lot to talk about, lots going on in the news. And I know my son's been making a lot of videos the last couple of days. Hey, Brother Tommy. And like I say, this is not a scheduled live stream. I will mention tonight at 7. Hey, Jonathan. Tonight at 7, we'll be going on with our regular live stream at 7 o'clock. I'll be dealing with biblical numbers. You know, it has a lot to do with prophecy. And just a lot of the way to understand the Bible is dealing with biblical numbers. You know, God deals in order. God's a God of order. And so I don't stretch it. I don't push it. It's not, everything doesn't have to fit to the numbers, but the numbers fit, they fit. And they do have some meaning. And so we're going to talk tonight about biblical numerology. There's a lot of good books out on biblical numerology. Hey, Joyce, good to see you. There's a lot of things out there. You can buy some good books on Amazon or thrift books or Christian Bible distributors. A lot of books that are out of print. I was going to say out of print, but they were years ago from the older writers, and they're back in print. You can buy them. Sometimes buy the original ones, used copies, and sometimes you can get them real cheap. A $20, $30 book for $7, $8, sometimes $3 or $4. And paperback, and that's if you're just going to read it, use it for your own study and for your learning. I get a lot of paperbacks, and I write in them anyway. So it really is not a matter about it looking good on my shelf. I used to buy books to look good on my shelf. When I come out of Bible college, I had a professor who says, I don't encourage you to buy this just to spend money, but it does look good on your shelf. And so, anyway, I've bought a lot of books. I guess I've got 3,000 or 4,000 books in my library, and I've probably given that many away, or sold that many, given that many away. I had one preacher that passed away, a good friend of mine, that his son gave me his library. And I went through and kept the stuff I wanted, the stuff I already had. I gave some to my son. I gave some to several other preachers, and hundreds of books I've given away. But I got a lot of books. But this thought of biblical numerology, if you really get interested in it, tonight during the broadcast, I'll probably give you a couple of names and titles of some authors and some books that you can purchase. One, trying to think of the preacher, the older preacher. He's dead now, but he used to preach on biblical numbers, and he's got probably one of the best books as far as simple. And I can't remember his name. I think I've got his book, but I'll pull it out tonight. So that's at 7. We'll be doing the live stream, so just mark that on your calendar today. for 7 o'clock tonight. And then a lot of stuff in the news. I know everybody's talking about President Trump and the stuff on the news about Elon Musk. I'm 100% behind our president. I'm glad God put him in. God raises up the heart of the king's in the hand of the Lord, and God rises up leaders as he sees fit. And I don't look to Trump as far as being my salvation. I'm not putting my hope and trust in him. I'm praying he does well. I'm praying God gives him wisdom to make decisions that'll help our nation financially, militarily, morally, as well as spiritually. Still praying for revival in our nation. But Elon Trump's the richest man in the world, very intelligent, somewhat autistic from what I understand, has some autism in his medical history. But sometimes those men that are so smart, and he is a genius. He has one of the highest IQs, I guess, of anybody that's walking today and on this planet. But they do sometimes have very temperamental. And plus, two, when you understand his business, when he began to help Trump and began to support our president, his Tesla stock, because of the attack from the liberals, burning down his dealerships and burning down his Teslas and all the bad publicity he got, his stock dropped about 25% in the last 6 months. So when you lose 25% of stock of a company, so, it hurts financially, and he did all that for nothing. He helped Doge and did a lot of things and supported the president and helped him get elected. And he lost a lot of money as a result of it and got a lot of personal attack. His family. Hey, Sandra, hope you're doing well. Miss Joyce. And so, it's not surprising that there's a spat now that he spent out his 130 days and the president had to let him go because that was the limit for him being a temporary employee. Hey, Gene. Hey, Tom Johnson. Hey, Brother Thomas. Hope you're doing good, buddy. Don't forget to write me that testimonial. I need that as soon as you can. Plus, anybody else, Jonathan, anybody else has been involved in my ministry. I've been your pastor, or you've been in meetings with me, and my life or ministry has touched you in some way. I just need you to write a little testimonial for the book. Send it to me on my Facebook Messenger. If you've got my cell number, send it to me on my cell. Or if you want to send it by way of email, davidharrison1956 @gmail.com. David Harrison, all small caps, David Harrison 1956 @gmail.com. And just write a few paragraphs or whatever, half the page, it doesn't matter. I'll use whatever I need to use of it, but get that into me pretty quick. We're finishing up the last chapters of a book, and so I want to get the testimonial section done. I've sent out about 300 or 400 people requests. I think I've got, a pretty good amount in, but not enough yet, so do that for me. But back to Elon Musk and our president. I'm not surprised that it happened because of all the conflict and the attack and persecution and any time where there's money and power involved. Not the money, but the love of money is the root of all evil. And when your life is built on such large power, being the smartest man, the richest man, and having such power as a president or as the richest man in the world with companies, a rocket company that, he's so smart that he built the rockets to go rescue our astronauts in space. Just an intelligent man. And with all the attack coming from the liberals and being pulled from both sides, it's not a surprise that it's happening. I'm not surprised, but I think both of them are grown up enough. I believe that in the days ahead, when they see the damage that is being done by this spat in public, I think they'll resolve. I don't know if they'll be best friends, but they'll still be friends, and I think it'll be resolved. I do agree with Elon Musk about the big, beautiful bill. I do think that there's not enough, there's still too much pork in it. This thing about the SALT, which is taxes, is state and local tax deductions for these big states like California, Illinois, and New York. Get this special state and local tax deduction. It was like $10,000. I think now it's up in this new bill $30,000 or $40,000. And all the states don't get that. It's just these big states. And I'm with the conservatives on this. I don't think that all the states should bear the tax burdens of the bigger states just because they can't handle their money and because they spend it on liberal projects that are wasteful. So I agree with that, and I think there's a lot more waste they could cut out of this big bill. And I think our senators are going to do that. Hey, Claudia. Hey, Amy. Hope you're doing well. So I understand the argument. I agree with it somewhat, but I'll go back to just like it is in the church or like it is in personal life. I don't want to air out my divisions with somebody in public. I don't get on Facebook and talk about a fight I had with a brother or sister or even with a family member. I'm not going to get on Facebook and talk about a spat I had with a family member or with another preacher. I'm not going to do it. That's not the biblical way. If there's a problem, you work it out behind the scenes, because when you do it publicly, whether it's the church or whether it's in the world, it brings too many other people into the issue and the problem. It's none of their business, and it creates problems for everybody. So just pray for our president. Pray for Elon Musk. Don't get upset with him or our president. It's just Satan is attacking our nation. We've got a chance here to make some positive changes, and I don't agree with everything that's going on. Like I say, I don't agree with everything in this big, beautiful bill, but it is going to cut taxes for a lot of people, and especially senior citizens. No tax on Social Security, and I don't make any extra money right now, but I do have the possibility that in the days ahead I'll go back to doing some preaching, be making some money, and I don't want to pay taxes on my Social Security. Right now, if I make money, they add my Social Security in as income, and so I pay taxes on the total amount. But I think all senior citizens shouldn't have to pay any taxes at all. That's just my opinion. And then no tax on tips is a great way to help working people that work at the table and serve, and they don't make much money unless it's tips. And I think the no tax on tips is excellent. So a lot of things in there is good for the common man. But like I say, this SALT thing for these big states, and this unnecessary, the Medicare. I know everybody's talking about Medicare and Medicaid being cut, and all people are going to lose insurance. That's for people that don't even belong in the program. People that deserve Medicare and Medicaid ought to get it. But I don't want to see it go broke because of 1.5 million, 2 million illegal immigrants that's getting Medicaid and Medicare, when there's older people that deserve it and veterans that deserve it that have worked and served. I don't believe it. So, hey, Miss Deanie, hope you're doing well. So I really think that there's some truth to what they're saying, but I just don't think it ought to be aired out in public. So anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. So just pray for them, pray for our country. And but anyway, that's all enough for that. So as for the book is doing good. I've got 3 more chapters. I don't know why the editor sent the chapters in out of order, but I've done the last 3 chapters, and I've done the first 8 chapters, and I've got 9, 10, 11, and then I've got the testimonial page, and then the pictures, and that's all. Just 3 more chapters to read one more time. This will be the 6th time of me going through the book, editing it, and the editor, professional editor, edited it 3 times, and then AI did it twice. And so we've had it, counting the 6 times I've read it. My wife's not read it 6, she's read it twice. My son's read it 2 or 3 times. He's reading as they come in. He's getting the copies and reading it. So I've read it. This will be my 6th time. So he'll be edited that 11 times when it goes to publisher. Hey, Lewis, hope you're doing well. So, the book will be out, Lord willing, sometime this summer, if we can get all of it together. But we're in the final stages. So that's where that's at. And then I've got 3 other books that are in the makings. One's already started. The other 2, the outlines are about done. And so 3 other books will be out sometime next year, Lord willing. And then another part of exciting thing, and I got some yesterday, where I'm trying to find a lot of the churches that I did meetings in that may have copies of my message. Hey, Brother Marty, be careful delivering the mail today. Hope you're doing well. A lot of churches that I've preached in the last 50 years have got copies of the old sermons I did. I'm trying to get them, if they're on digital, to send those to me. And the guy that does the tech work for Voice of Hope is going to set me up a page. I've got my YouTube page up, but you can't download MP3, which is audio. You can't download that just to Facebook. And if it goes to YouTube, it's got to be in some type of video format, or there's some type of video showing if it's just a picture. So it has to be on MP3, I think, if I understand it correctly. So we're going to set up a separate site that'll handle the audio. Where I got some yesterday. I think there were 54 messages. Some of them were mine. Some were Lester Roloff. These were from Landis Baptist, the church that I was ordained out of. I did a meeting there in '87 in April, and then I did come back in the fall and did a 5.5-week meeting, the greatest meeting I guess I ever did in Landis, or one of the greatest meetings in the church. It lasted 5.5 weeks. We had, I don't know how many saved. It was 60, 70, 80 saved, 4 called to preach. Just a supernatural meeting right through Christmas. On Christmas Eve night, there was over 900 in church. It was unbelievable. People brought busloads. The church held about 800 or 900, 1,000, I guess, packed. And it was packed every night. And amazing. So I got 4 messages from the spring meeting in '87. And I listened to part of them yesterday. And, I told you about the picture I posted of Miss Granny Porch. It's on my Facebook and it's on YouTube. The dear woman with her hair tied up, with a skinny lady. That's Granny Porch. I told you that story. Told you about how she'd shout, "Whoa, glory, glory," how she'd get to shouting. Well, the first tape that I listened to yesterday that was sent to me from Landis was Lester Roloff when he was at Landis Baptist. And I think it was in 1980. I believe it was in 1980. Before he died. He died in 1982 in the plane crash. So it's 1980. And right in the middle of the girls singing, hey, Brian, right in the middle of the girls singing, Lord, how mercy, Miss Granny Porch takes a shouting spell, and for 20 minutes she shouts, and they keep singing, and the church goes wild. And me and my wife sat here last night, and we laughed, and we cried, and listened to that. And then, of course, not only Lester Roloff, Brother Frank Gribble was on there preaching, Brother Richard Horn was on there preaching, Joe Arthur was on there, Mays Jackson was on there, I was on there. 54 messages, singing, choir, and my messages. And that's all just in one bundle they sent me yesterday. And then I've got several other churches that are working on getting the digital. A church up in Ohio that I was with for 4 or 5 or 6 weeks, and they're getting those messages together. And so I'm trying to find messages from churches that I've been with. And then in the Voice of Hope office, packed up in dozens and dozens of boxes, are probably more than 1,000 messages of cassettes, CDs, DVDs, that's got to be downloaded to digital. And that's a long process. And so we're going to try to come up with 200 or 250 of the best and download the audio and the video on a site that we're going to build sometime this year. I hope we can get it built before the year's over. So you'll have access to hear me preach years ago before my voice went out. And when I was at my prime, when I still was young, and I know the ones I listened to yesterday, I was 30 years old when I was preaching, 38 years ago. So I was just young, and my voice was strong, and even had me singing, "Thank You, Lord, for Your Blessings" at Landis. I was singing that night. I listened, and just good memories. And so, anyway, that's something that we're working on. So be looking forward to that. That's something I'm excited about, to be able to share a lot of the preaching from the past. I get messages every now and then of somebody wanting to know, can they get some tapes? And I just don't send out the CDs anymore. It's just too much trouble. I got a CD maker in the office that'll do, I think, 10 at a time, or 7 or 8 at a time. It's a big, tall tower. But everything's packed up, and it's just hard to keep up with that and the mailing, and I just haven't been able to physically and mentally. My mind's just not working right to be able to keep up with all that. So we're going to try to put it available on a website, so you can just go to it, and if you want to download it, I'm not sure if we'll charge anything. If it is, it'll be 99 cents, about like you charge for downloading a song. I think songs are $1.99 now, but 99 cents just for the technology and for the upkeep of the site. 99 cents to download a message, and that would go to the ministry just to help keep the site up, because it's pretty expensive to run a website and have somebody operate it and tend to it and keep it updated. So no, I can't do it. I'm just not. I can turn my phone on and turn my laptop on, and I can type and I can work basic stuff. But as far as building sites and keeping those sites up, I can do YouTube, what I've got now, and I can do my Facebook. What you see on Facebook, I'm doing all that. But beside that, forget it, man. You get out yonder and designing stuff and making these banners, and I can't do that. I probably could if I had somebody take 2 or 3 months and work with me. I learn pretty fast, but they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but this old dog's still learning, so I guess I could, but I don't really want to. I'd rather have somebody do it for me. That's a good thing about being old. You use excuses, I'm old. Well, there was a lady, excuse me, trying to get my voice cleared up this morning. There was a lady on yesterday, and I didn't tag her, but if some of you if you know her, Betsy Gibson, I think it's Betsy Gibson was on here yesterday, And while I was singing, I didn't see it until after it was over with, and she asked me to sing a song we sung in Ralph's tent meetings all the time, The Well of Grace. I haven't sung that song in years, but I got my old Gibson out this morning. As I said, this is my other guitar. This is not my Martin. This is my Gibson J45, and oh, it's sweet. Isn't that pretty? Pretty. That thing's got a pretty sound. Oh, it's pretty, it's pretty, it's pretty. So anyway, I got my guitar out and I said, well, I will try. And I apologize. I'm not making excuses, but I lost my voice in 2010 due to H1N1, HPV virus, and had papillomas removed twice. And I lost my voice. My vocal cords became paralyzed. So for about 10, 12, 15 years, I was able to sound worse than I sound now. But it was just, I couldn't sing at all. I could talk, but it sounded like Kermit the Frog. And it's getting bad again. You hear that raspiness like you need to clear your throat. Well, it doesn't clear. I cough and clear all the time, and it doesn't do any good. That's the problem. And I had 2 major surgeries in 2022 at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore. And Jewish doctor Simon Best fixed it. And for quite a while, it sounded pretty good. I went back to singing some and preaching. But now, through the cancer and all the treatments, that same problem seems to be coming back again. Hey, Brother Bert, talking about old times. So, but anyway, when I was with Ralph, we did a song. I think this was, who was it that sung this song? Hemphills. Yeah, Joel Hemphill wrote this song. Nobody sings it anymore. It's old. It's over 50 years old. But it's called The Well of Grace. Oh, I keep coming back to the well of grace. Great is His power, sweet is His taste. Whenever temptations and trials I face, I keep coming back to the well. Blessed is the fountain in a barren land, satisfies the thirst of the inner man. No better place could be found to dwell. Oh, won't you come to the well? Oh, I keep coming back to the well of grace. Great is His power, sweet is His taste. Whenever temptations and trials I face, I keep coming back to the well. Jesus made a well at Calvary for healing, cleansing, and victory. Oh, the joy overflows, no tongue can tell. I thank God for the well. Oh, I keep coming back to the well of grace. Great is His power, sweet is His taste. Whenever temptations and trials I face, I keep coming back to the well. Oh, I keep coming back to the well of grace. Great is His power, sweet is His taste. Whenever temptations and trials I face, I keep coming back to the well. Well, that's just an oldie song. I don't sound too good, but anyway, you get this idea of it. We sung that every night in the tent, and I still meet people now, 40 years later, 45 years later, they said, "Hey, you still singing that song from that well song from the tent?" And I say, "No, I hadn't sung it in a long time." So that's the first time I've sung it since, I guess, since the early mid-90s. It's been 25, 30 years since I sung it. So, Betsy, I'll send you a message and I'll let you know that it's on this video. And you can watch it and hope it'll be a blessing to you. And, I love singing even though I can't do much anymore. As the world looks upon me, as I struggle along, they say I'm not wealthy, and they are so wrong. In my heart I'm rejoicing, they could see. Thank you, Lord, for your blessings on me. There's food on my table and shoes on my feet. You gave me your love, Lord, and a fine family. Thank you, Lord, for your blessings on me. I know I'm not wealthy, and these clothes, they're not new. I don't have much money, but Lord, I have you. To me, that's all that matters, though the world may not see. Thank you, Lord, for your blessings on me. There's a roof up above me, I've a good place to sleep. There's food on my table and shoes on my feet. You gave me your love, Lord, and a fine family. Thank you, Lord, for your blessings on me. Thank you, Lord, for your blessings on me. Hey, Brother Zach Sizemore, glory to God. Isn't God good to us? We got so much to be thankful for. I'm just out here on the back porch singing a little bit with my old 1971 Gibson J45. It's so pretty. Not a scratch on it. I'm telling you, I'm just thanking the Lord God let me have this. I got this. I got my Martin. I got an old Gibson fiddle, and I mean not fiddle, Gibson mandolin, flat iron mandolin, and I got a Fender bass, and so I love picking and just having a little time. My voice is not as good as it used to be. I'm praying that I can make a trip back up to Baltimore and see Dr. Best and maybe get my vocal cords fine-tuned a little bit. There's a process that he can do in the office. He goes down and basically shoots my vocal cords full of water, purified water, saline solution, not saline, but you know what I'm talking about, just regular purified water, and makes them, puff them up. They get puffy and water-filled, and then the water will work its way out, and they'll be soft and pliable, and keep them moving, keep them from getting stiff. And sometimes I get some type of fungus on them. I feel like that's on it now. I feel like it's covered. So, anyway, I love you too, Brother Zach. I'm going to call you. You want me to come down on a Sunday? Let me know what Sunday's good this summer, toward the middle or end of the summer. I'll come down. If you want me to come maybe a Sunday before the tent meeting starts, come down, maybe push it a little bit. I'll come down and preach on a Sunday morning for you. I'm not going to do all day. I don't think you have Sunday night services anyway sometimes. So Sunday morning, so let me know. I'll call you one day. We'll work out a Sunday and come down, and I'm going to try to support the meeting down in Kannapolis if I can, as much as I can. And I got so many friends. I'm going to try to help build the meeting. So I'll call you one day. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, we'll do that. Plus, you other preachers, too. I've got several I got to call. I made promises. Brother Dwayne King, and I'm going to call brother down in South Carolina, Dr. Baker. And so anyway, Sunday before the meeting, hey, that'd be good. Let me look at that date. I think it starts September the 29th. Is that right? That Sunday will be September 22nd. Does that sound good? Sunday, September 22nd. I could probably do that. Put that in pencil on your calendar, and I'll put it in pencil on mine, and I'll call you and confirm it, and come that Sunday, help promote it a little bit. That'd be good. I'll come in and preach on Mary Had a Little Lamb or something. I'll preach on Jesus Take the Wheel or something. I'm just kidding. Y'all know me. I'm just kidding. So anyway, yeah, okay, good. Thank you, brother. That sounds good. I don't know of another song to sing. I know one I'll sing. Oh, how many of y'all remember down in the Salisbury area? Let's see, what was his name? Now, my mind just slipped. Spry. It's Paul Spry. He went to Landis. You remember Paul Spry? I've been traveling for Jesus so much. Let's go up a little bit higher. That's not quite high enough. I've been traveling for Jesus so much of my life. I've been traveling on land and on sea, but I'm counting on taking a trip to the sky. That will be the last move for me. When I move to the sky, up in heaven on high, what a wonderful trip that will be. I'm all ready to go, washed in Calvary's flow. That will be the last move for me. Before I sing that last verse, my granddaughter makes fun of me because I say washed instead of washed. I can't help it, I'm country. Country folks say W-A-R-H, wash. So I'm going to sing it washed. Here I'm bothered with packing each time that I move, and I carry a load in each hand. But I'll not need one thing I have used in this world when I move to that heavenly land. When I move to the sky, up in heaven on high, what a wonderful trip that will be. Here it is. I'm all ready to go, washed in Calvary's flow. That'll be the last move for me. I'm all ready to go, washed in Calvary's flow. I know it's country, I can't help it. I'm as country as cornbread, even I was country before cornbread was even around. I just love singing. But yeah, my granddaughter, Holly, she, every time I say wash, and her sister does too, Hennessy. Every time I'm around them, and I think Kylie does too, DR's daughter, Kylie. She said something one day about me saying wash. And I do. I got it from my mama. My mama was so country. You'd love my mother. She's in heaven now, bless her heart. I love her. And I miss her so bad. But she was so country. She called me back years ago. Some of y'all remember the Atlantic bombing during the Olympics down in Atlanta years ago. You remember that bomber that dropped a bomb, put a bomb out there and exploded and killed a bunch of people, and it was all over the news for weeks. They caught him. He ran free up in the mountains of North Carolina for a long time. They caught him finally, and my mama called me that day when it happened. She called me. She said, David. She called me David. That's how she'd say it. She said, David, did you hear about that bum? I said, Mama, what bum? She said, that bum they caught, or that bum they're looking for. I said, Mama, what bum? She said, that bum down there in Atlanta. I said, you talking about the Atlanta Olympics, that bomb? She said, yeah, that bum. She said, that bum set off. I said, Mama, it's not a bum, it's a bomb. It's a bomb. She said, I'm sorry. She said, I call it bum. She said, that bum. And she called all kinds of stuff. She called paper pokes. My kids didn't know what a poke was. They said, give me one of them pokes. And they didn't know what a poke was. And, of course, some country folks, poke means pork. I mean, it's just, I'm country, buddy. And, we called raccoons coons. I used to coon hunt. I said that one day in the church. I said, we used to coon hunt. And some young person said, what's a coon? I said, a raccoon. We never did say raccoon. We coon hunted. I had coon dogs. And we had 21 coon dogs at one time. And so anyway, I don't know how I'm getting off on this. I love to reminisce with you. I think I'm going to start doing more of this on Wednesday in my Revival Reflections. I thought about it, and I got so much response yesterday from just talking like this and playing and singing. And I thought about the Revival Reflections. That's really what I want to do. I want to reflect on the past of revivals, a lot of stories I could tell. You know, I spent 10 years working for Brother Ralph Sexton Jr., and then I've been in the ministry over 50 years. And all the stories, I'm reminded of some of them as people are sending me notes and things, some of the meetings they were in, people that remember those meetings, and just so much. I remember so many things about so many meetings, and so much I've forgotten until I get around somebody that reminds me, and then the stories are clear. Hey, cousin Sean, out there in Nashville, Tennessee, and your husband's doing well. I see his music is doing good, hitting some top songs there on the jazz market. So proud of him. I know you are. And I got to see I got to see some of our kinfolk. I got to meet some kinfolk the other day down in Albemarle, and she goes to my brother's church, and she is, she's, I guess, a granddaughter to either Max or Harold, which would have been your uncles, your mama's. Your mother was Connie. Your mother was Connie. Is that right? And so it'd been one of Connie's brothers, Harold or Max. I think it's one of his granddaughters. And for the life of me, I can't remember her name. She got married, and her husband go to Prospect Baptist down in Albemarle, where my brother goes. And I got to meet her just a couple of weeks ago. And your name came up. I told my brother I kept in touch with you. He talked about you, and I said, yep, I keep in touch with you on Facebook. And so a lot of family, a lot of kin, just a lot of good memories. And the Lord's been good to us. Well, today's Friday, the end of another week. It's hard to believe. Another week's gone by, and I've got a lot accomplished in the office, but I haven't done much, haven't gone out much this week. My wife and I both have not felt good. We've just stayed in this week, and I didn't even get to go to church Wednesday night. I missed Wednesday night. Don't like to do that, but my whole body I can't get it going. Most of my mornings are doing what you see now. I finished reading my Bible this morning. I started back the end of January, back through it again. I just finished Revelation this morning. I finished the last chapter of Revelation and closed it. And I reset it again to go back. And tomorrow morning I'll start in Genesis. And I'll go back through the Bible again, probably another 4 months. About the fall, I'll finish up the Bible again. I'm going to go through it 2 times. I'm doing it different this time. Instead of just reading it, I'm listening to it as I read, and that's helping me really to pick up a lot of stuff that sometimes I miss. So I sit with my phone, and I listen to it while I read along. It takes longer, because I read pretty fast, and so the talking is a little bit slower than I read, but 2 senses instead of 1, hearing and seeing, or hearing and seeing, reading, and then hearing when I hear. 2 senses instead of 1, you pick up more. So I challenge you, that's maybe an idea you may want to try. Some of you, listen to the Bible, and you'll get a lot, but you won't get as much as you will if you're listening and reading. So I decided the Lord burdened me in January to go back to the Bible and listen to it as I read. I've never done that before. I listened to it through before, but I've never listened and read. And then I've read through, dozens and dozens of times in 50 years. But this time was really enjoyable. And I use the King James Version that is animated, so every time God talks, it's a different voice. And every time somebody else speaks, it's a different voice. And the angels from Revelation, boy, when they thundered out the 7 angels and the woes and the judgments, their voices almost scared me when they came on. But it really adds to it. You'd be surprised. That animation really adds emphasis, where God emphasizes stuff. But many times we forget. I didn't want that phone call, so I just cut it off. I'm sorry. So sometimes, maybe try that. If you're reading your Bible, do it on audio and read along with it, and see if that maybe helps you pick up some things. Just a little hint. Well, remember tonight at 7 o'clock, my live stream will be dealing with biblical numerology. We'll be talking about numbers. So don't forget that tonight at 7. About 40 minutes, and we'll talk about all the Bible numbers, the importance of them, what they stand for. And I'll even, if you want me to, I'll even type up a list of the numbers, and you can get it. I'll send it to you if you request it. So I'll put that on my phone. I'll take a picture of it. I'll send you a copy of the picture. It'll be again if you could see it, and you can cut it out, copy it off, cut it out, and put it in your Bible. I carry one in my Bible, just all the numbers. Have it taped in front of my Bible, and it helps me remember if I forget what certain numbers mean. I've got along with me just the basic key numbers. So that'll be something I'll consider doing tonight. Plus, I'm going to show you some books that you may be interested in if you want to study more on biblical numbers. I'm just going to hit one lesson tonight, and that'll be all unless God leads otherwise. We're going through all the principles of hermeneutics, so should be good. And so have a good day today. Thank you for spending a little time with me this morning. Enjoy your day. If you're at work, be careful on the road, traveling back and forth. Have a good weekend, and Lord willing, if Jesus doesn't come, I'll see you on live stream tonight. If he does come, hey, Brother Darrell Lomax, you just got in time, buddy. I'm fixing to close out. You can go back and watch it if you want to. It'll be on Facebook. But listen, if you're driving this weekend, be careful. If the Lord comes, I'll meet you somewhere up above the treetops in the air. If the Lord doesn't come today, I'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock on live stream. We deal with the topic of biblical numbers. God bless you. This is Brother David Harrison saying good day. Have a good day.